The administration has been insisting it is not consumed by the Russian investigation. President Trump and Vice President Pence met earlier this month with several state party chairs, including Minnesota GOP Chair Jennifer Carnahan, about the 2018 congressional elections. The White House believes that as many as 3 Minnesota congressional seats could be flipped from being held by Democrats now to being held by Republicans in 2018. Joining us to talk about that White House meeting, the chair of the GOP, Minnesota GOP, Jennifer Carnahan. Chair Carnahan, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let me ask you, this was just about 10 days ago. What was the president's mood like? Because obviously these are some tense times there at the White House.
It was actually very positive and very energized. There were 9 of us state chairs that were brought into the White House. We all have a gubernatorial race and a U.S. Senate race up. And it was just for him and the vice president to kind of understand what the mood is in our states. And so that was an opportunity for us to talk about issues that we think are important and the opportunity for 2018.
All right. Well, all right. Let's talk then about the U.S. Senate race, because I want to get to the others. Senator Klobuchar is, of course, who was just here, is the candidate who was up. Last time, she won 85 out of Minnesota's 87 counties. Her approval rating, I think, is in excess of 70%. Do you really think that you have a candidate that could take her on?
You know, we understand she's very popular across Minnesota, but we do think that we will be able to put forth strong candidates as we look ahead to 2018 and be able to talk about ways
even against Senator Klobuchar.
Even against Senator Klobuchar, and talk about ways that the Republican values in our candidates could do a lot of great things in Washington, D.C. to represent Minnesotans.
All right. Let's talk about the governor's race, because a very well-respected political report just switched that from leaning Democratic to a toss-up. Is there an opening there for the Republican Party?
We think it is. Well, D.C. thinks it's one of the biggest pickup opportunities in the country. It's one of the most vulnerable, democratically held gubernatorial seats, and we have full confidence that we will turn that seat in 2018. We've already got a number of candidates announced. We suspect there are more to come, and we're going to be putting together a very strategic plan in 2018 to canvass the state, keep voters that supported Trump, and flip voters to win Minnesota and turn it red.
All right, so you really think that it is a possible pickup? Because let's look at the last time that a statewide candidate won for the GOP in Minnesota. I believe we have to go back quite a ways to Governor Pawlenty.
I think 10 years. But I think
that's a long time.
It is a long time, but there's always time for change. And as we saw in the 2016 election, Trump did very well in Minnesota. I mean, he lost by less than 2%. He won, I think, what was it, 78 out of the 87 counties. And there was a resounding theme that people want change.
And for all the controversies, you know, surrounding the president, obviously he's having to spend a great deal of time on Russia. This isn't going to go away anytime soon. Do you really think that popularity can continue when you go out and talk to people?
I do, because, and President Trump actually asked us that when we were in the Oval Office, and all of us state chairs said, you know, what I'm hearing in Minnesota is his popularity is still as high with the people that supported him and turned out to vote for him. I don't hear from many of the people when I'm traveling around the state that anyone cares about Russia. And so we're more focused on things that impact our lives, like the economy and healthcare and, you know, decreasing spending and doing things that will advance lives for all Minnesotans. So we're confident that that momentum is staying strong and will carry us in 2018.
All right. The 3 congressional seats, obviously one that you're looking at is the one currently being held by Congressman Tim Walz. That is truly a swing district. Your thoughts on that district?
Yeah, I mean, CD1 is a huge pickup opportunity for Republicans because it'll be an open seat, and Trump won that district by 15 points. Our congressional candidate last year came within 0.4%. So that is the biggest pickup opportunity in the entire country for Republicans in terms of the congressional landscape. And then our 2 other seats, CD7 and CD8, respectively, CD7 went 30 points for Trump, and our candidate came within 5.5 points, and CD8 went 16 points for Trump, and Stuart Mills there came within 0.25%. So we have 3 huge opportunities in Minnesota, and we believe with the right targeting and messaging and the right candidates that we will get those seats over the finish line.
I think a lot of people would like to see Stuart Mills again. From the Republican side, do you think he will make it a 3rd shot at it?
You know, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure he's doing some thinking about it, and we'll see what happens as we get into the fall.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Chair Carnahan, for discussing the meeting with the president. And sounds like, as far as you're concerned, Republicans are very much still behind the president here in Minnesota.
We are.
All right. Thank you so much.